Who ranked all the episodes? No one, just us! You're goddamn right, it was just us, and we've got 13 episodes to rank from Sons of Anarchy Season 3, and you have to begin in last place.
Well, we always have 13 episodes with Sons of Anarchy.
Apart from Season 4, mate.
Oh, part 1, part 2,
Oh yeah!
But you know what? Season 4, in my opinion, is the best season, so I'm all happy with Season 4.
I'm alright with that, but
I'm alright with Season 4.
I've noticed a trend here, right? The last episode that we've got is episode 3, Caregiver, and it is the only episode that Kurt Sutter... Well, alright, one of 2 episodes this season that Kurt Sutter is not directing or written by. Oh.
We didn't know that until we ranked it.
We didn't, but that's intriguing, isn't it? Now, we'll get to the next one very soon, but this one is Caregiver. What happens in this episode? Stephen King makes a cameo, and you know what? I don't like Stephen King, but I wouldn't say he completely, killed this episode, but I wasn't a fan of this cameo. He was weird. I think it was more Gemma and Tig that made the cameo better. I'm thinking music. 80s.
It was just filler. Nothing really happened.
Yeah, like what the club are doing back in Charming is essentially getting Henry Lynn on board. And then Opie batters everyone because he sees Lila. And then, Tara goes down and, the whole caregiver situation goes sideways. And then she ends up dying. And that's pretty much it. And Sam Crow find out that Cammy Hayes was dumped in Belfast, brother.
I think it's fair to say that Caregiver was like a Mayans level episode.
Yes, I would agree with that. But
still better writing, but it just wasn't that interesting.
No, it wasn't. But coming in 12th place, we've got episode 11. We've got Bane. And I think this one is quite clearly the worst episode of the Irish episodes.
Again, just the least exciting, because by the time we get into Bane, pretty much everything's been done. At this point, it's like, well, they've taken care of what they had to do. I mean, Sam Bell's been wiped off the face of the earth. It's pretty much all Jax has to do is go and collect his son.
And he can't even do that.
And he walks up and he decides against it. Obviously, he changes his mind after Gemma tells him he's going to be a dad, that Tara's pregnant again. Well, he's going to be a dad again, Tara's pregnant. And then he decides to go and get his son back, but Jimmy's already got his son. And then nothing really happens. We're expecting them to go after Jimmy, but we get a peaceful agreement where Jimmy will hand over the son.
Farewell, me son.
For Karen Ashby, so it's like...
Karen? Kellen
Ashby.
Kellen? Who the fuck's Karen?
I don't know. So, it just wasn't that exciting.
No, it was a bit of a lackluster... I think it was a bit of a lackluster end to the Belfast stuff. But then again, you couldn't really have explosions going off as they're leaving on the boat.
True, but I don't think what happened in this episode for the Ireland arc, I don't think they needed to dedicate a full episode to it. Yeah. And I get that there's still a little bit of stuff going on in Charming, but...
Maybe a better ending would have been if Sam Crow chased Jimmy to his plane and then he escaped.
In Charming, we did get the Salazar stuff as well.
Yeah, and Tig.
Tig and...
Piney and Kozik. Yeah, so I like... And Alvarez playing dead, all that sort of stuff happening.
The visit to his house, that was good. Or was that last episode?
No, it's around that time. No,
so that's what you've got going on. It was okay. It's just... when you look at the Ireland stuff, the least amount of stuff that happened in Ireland happened in this episode.
It did. And coming in 11th place, we have got Turning and Turning, the only other episode where Kurt Sutter did not direct or write. And in this episode, the club find out that Abel is in Belfast. Gemma is tied to her hospital bed. And it's just one of those episodes where not an awful lot happens. It's just like Sam Crow. It's just one of those episodes where they're kind of in limbo about, right, we need to get to Belfast, but we need to kind of sort out relationships before we travel to the 6 counties. Sort of gimmick.
6 counties, brother.
And this one was written by Dave Erickson and Marco Ramirez. Do they sound a bit better than what the Mayans had going for them?
Sound like the Mayans to me.
See, this is why Sons was better, right? We've got 13 episodes here, and only 2 of them in one season Kurt Sutter wasn't involved in. And you can guarantee he was still backstage, because he didn't allow any improvisation. Mayans is dishing out fucking Gilly to write and direct. What's that about? That was destined to fail. Final season of a show, and they're giving...
Yeah, people that have never done it before.
It's not a dig at Gilly, it's a dig at them all. Like Danny Pino and JD Pardo.
How can their first gigs at directing an episode happen in a show's final fucking season?
When it needs to get wrapped up. That should be first season, second season. I mean, and it's not like they're on a level of a Stallone.
I disagree. Don't even think it should be happening.
No, it shouldn't be happening, but especially not in the final season. Come on, but yeah, this episode, not really a lot happens. Jax eventually makes the deal with Stall at the end of it, so it ends quite strong, but nothing mental going on. Episode 2 comes up next. In 10th place, we have got Oiled, and again, this episode we've got the club enlisting the help of Bobby's ex-wife's husband, Serge, where they try and get the bounty hunter to help track down Cammy Hayes. Again, just kind of a bit more filler. Meanwhile, though, back in Ireland, Cammy Hayes is killed by the IRA. What did you make of that? Cammy Hayes annihilated. Done.
Cammy Hayes came home. It was alright.
Did what it had to do.
Cammy Hayes had to go.
Tell them Cammy Hayes came home.
It probably would have ended up worse for Cammy Hayes if he never got killed here. So put him out of his misery.
Absolutely. 9th place, though, belongs to Home. Again, another episode where Sam Crow are just on the move. They go to Gemma, and then they have to come all the way back, and Gemma collapses.
It's no surprise to me that I think the weaker episodes this season were in the first half.
Yes.
That's a common theme.
No, it is a common theme.
I think they waited too long to go to Ireland.
No, they did. No,
Way too long to be honest.
7 episodes in Charming before we even think about Belfast. Come on, man. Also, this episode, they did help the cat lady with all the scripts. Just a bit of filler. Yeah, just a bit of filler. 8th place belongs to episode 6, which is The Push. Of course, you've got Jackson Tara here selling some of these scripts, and you see Darby noticing it. And then this is when, you've got Hale trying to, shaft Lumpy. And then you've got Kozik and Tig killing Bozo at St. Thomas. And Kozik getting voted in gets a big no. Tig's like, nah, it's not happening.
It's a no from me, brother.
Kozik could have been acting president, though. Fid to come on that a wee bit later on. Coming in at the halfway point, we have got episode 7. In 7th place, we have got Widening Gaia. Yes, of course, the Grim Bastards in this episode. I think the VP died.
Yeah, I like this. The whole meet, it's pretty cool. They go to the Mexican hangout, and you've got the Calavaras, you've got the Mayans, you've got the Suns, you've got the Grim Bastards.
It's a fiesta.
All rammed into the one toilet, one bathroom. It's a bit fucking weird, but it was good. It's a lot of star power in one bathroom.
See when Alvarez tells Clay to take a piss, what if Clay just actually goes and takes a piss? Then Salazar walks in. Oh, Sam Crow and the Mayans are taking piss.
It's a good job he didn't ask Ron Perlman, because he wouldn't know what bathroom to identify with.
That's true. But I enjoyed the end of this episode as well. Tig takes the cops on a goose chase, and then you've got Sam Crow going to the big jumbo jet. Good wee ending. Then you've got O'Neill, McGee, and Jimmy. Good. They won't be here long.
Yeah.
Those little American bastards. 6th place belongs to Lochen Moor. I know what that means. Big lake in Irish.
Big lake.
Is that referring to Loch Ness?
Loch Ness.
Loch Ness by any chance? But yeah, it was just a good episode, this. It was a good introduction to Belfast. Not an awful lot happens, but it was a good bedding in episode, wasn't it?
I like it. They get there and all of a sudden, PSNI. Police services. No.
Identification.
Dirty
loyalist bastard.
And then we had Gemma and we had the geezer in the truck. You want me to run them over? No! Are you out of your mind?
I ain't gonna broadside their peeler.
No, it was good. Welcome to Ireland, fellas. You ain't in California now. It was good.
UVF, brother. Let me see. It was the Orangeman, guys. Coming in 5th place, we've got episode 12. Sam Crow have returned to Charming, and it came back with a bang, didn't it?
It did. It came back.
You've got the death of Salazar, the death of Agent Tyler, and it just sets up the finale perfectly. Perfect penultimate episode.
Jack's on a one-man mission to get Tara back safe and alive, takes out Salazar in the process. It made the Mayans happy, I guess, but didn't really do much for Clay and
What's mental, right? The Russians only appear in 3 episodes, but
they feel like a big deal.
Yeah. Especially when Roosevelt and Potter are talking about them with the Rico board. And the Shiv Jacks. And
the Russians.
They're even
Mother Russia.
Mother Russia. Yeah, Jack, boy, we shiv you, my friend. But this is a very good episode, nonetheless. Coming into 4th place, we have got the premiere of this season.
So, S.O.
It's a good episode, but I think what saves it is the whole final act. Cammy Hayes arriving in Belfast, the shooting at the wake. Clay's speech to Jax is like, either Abel is dead and you would kill for revenge, or he's alive and you would kill to find him. And then even the whole joke he made about all those Iraqi minefields just to die in the goddamn kitchen. Burying Half-Sack right to the end.
But he did get patched in, so...
It was all good, wasn't it?
And, I mean, it was a good ending for Half-Sack. He might be dead, but he's a member of the Suns.
It was a very good episode. Moving into the podium positions, we have got episode 10 for Ryan, which means truth in Irish. So it's the truth we're after.
It's the truth we're after, fellas.
And yeah, the truth that they're after is that McGee and O'Neill are dead.
Yes.
Weird episode. I feel like the first half, so much action, right? You've literally got O'Neill getting hunted down, the torture of O'Neill, then you've got the whole shootout on the roof, and then McGee gets pushed off the roof, and then like the second half just completely like drops off.
Yeah, where it's like, you fellas have destroyed this charter in 3 days.
You never wiped them off. So yeah, of course, yeah, and then you've got Gemma and like Maureen Ashby. I need more smokes. I need more whiskey. And Cherry's like, I need a new life.
Jax and Trinity almost create some incest as well.
Absolute nonce behaviour. And then like the next, I know it's in the next episode, but Jack's just playing it off. He's like, well.
And she seems like a bit upset that it didn't happen. Very fucking weird here.
I know. Charlie Hunnam, what you playing at, big man?
Oh, hold on, is it really his fault? I think he's trying to make a joke about it, and she seems more upset that it didn't happen.
I think it just shows you though the difference. I think he's willing to play it off as a joke and she's not. She's took it to fucking heart.
Damn.
I guess for her, what's worse for her? Is it worse for her finding out that her real dad's John Teller? Or is it worse for Jax finding out that that's his sister and that his dad had another family that he didn't know about? Like,
It's not the same thing.
Kinda, but...
Although, I mean, I guess he held his dad to a higher standard, whereas she didn't really know her dad. So I don't think much has changed for her.
Yeah, like, I mean, Jax can bury Clay all he wants, but I mean, Clay looked after everybody. Made sure bread was on the table.
Jax was too busy.
John was shuffling 2 layers. That's the fucking bread.
Aye, John was too busy with his wee family in Ireland.
Goddamn right. Episode 9 belongs in second place. We've got Chiras. We've got... I think the barn scene where it just blows up is fucking...
Don't you start that!
Don't you start that, boy! And then, kaboom. Gotta murder a shite.
I also like when you got Clay picking up Jax, and Jax has originally seen John, but it's Clay. And then you've got Chibs. You bastards will poo!
You bastards are dead. Who's he talking to? Patrick lying on the floor? Is he talking to O'Neill and McGee?
Then we get the other guy for the new charter. Not new charter, but this is the guy that... What's the guy with the weird name? He's for Ireland.
Oh, yeah. Scrum?
Scrum, aye.
Fucking... It's called Scrum.
Scrum turns into crumbs after a big explosion. He's just sitting there burning out in the driver's seat.
Patrick's hands are fucking
come on.
Can't they done it all?
Like, I mean, surely he should know about, like, explosives and shit like that.
No, he should.
He shouldn't have been starting that engine.
No, but, well, see going to Belfast and using this whole, like, IRA, troubles culture, I feel like they fucking nailed it on the head this episode. They
did, whereas I think other shows would have just been ignorant and they wouldn't really have played any of that.
Yeah, no, I see if what actually like they did in Belfast, I don't think we talk about Mayans. We could have written that 1,000,000 times better. See if you're considering right that Kurt Sutter had probably never really knew about Belfast and the troubles before.
Yeah, but I'm willing to bet that he spent a lot of time reading up on it.
No, I'm not saying
getting familiar with it.
But I think. Fucking hell, I'd say it was near 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but keep in mind that this is a guy that spent years learning about the bike culture life because he was going to write something.
Another 5 years with the IRA.
And then he's probably, like I said, learned his history about Ireland and shit like that. And then you've got Elgin James, a guy that just seems to have no awareness of anything.
Aye.
Breaks every code without even realising he's doing it. So I think it's just like Kurt Sutter's committed, this guy will donate time to.
If this was Elgin James, Ireland would have happened off screen. Episode 7 would have ended them going off in the plane. Episode 8 would have kicked off with them coming back in the plane.
To be fair, that seems like something to do in The Sopranos as well.
Aye. Fuck. Did Elgin James write The Sopranos?
Like that time they go to Italy in The Sopranos, I thought it was poor.
It was poor
represent. I mean, they could have done that so much better.
I know, like the old country.
Just shit, wasn't it?
I know. Fucking
It was
hell.
basically just
Chris injecting her into his
It was
toes.
basically just like a normal episode with Polly trying to
Fit in.
trying to act like Italian.
Oh no, but I know we're going off topic.
No, but that would that not be like Jack's just going to Ireland and going, all right, laddie, top of the morning to you, fella. Where's my son? Where's Abel? Where's Abel?
Why would normal Americans give a fuck that an Italian American's visiting?
Yeah, I mean, they're real Italians. This guy's a fake McCoy to them. I mean, this is like a rip-off. I'm gonna fuck.
Yeah. Like,
I could understand the American Italians caring about a real Italian coming to like New York or New Jersey. But these Italians are going to say, why is this Italian half-breed coming over here acting like he's a man?
No. Come on, man.
Anyway, we'll talk that. Let's the build up here. Let's go into number one.
Number 1 is episode 13, NS.
It can't be any other episode other than NS. Arguably not only the best episode of season 3, but arguably the best episode of the entire series. And if you look at most websites, whether it be IMDb or IDM, what do I call it?
IMDb.
Internet Movie Database. IMDb.
That's it.
Aye. So why did you...
Did I botch it?
Aye, you did.
I botched it. There you go.
Anyway, IMDb, Internet Movie Database, or any other website...
Internet database movies.
What?
Yeah, no, the way I said it would have been wrong.
Aye. So basically, if you look at any website that like ranks or keeps like ratings of episodes, this one is always in the top 3. Yeah. And in most cases, it's number 1. And rightfully so, because this pretty much ties up... This like ties up the full first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
It almost feels like if you could split Sons of Anarchy into like half or into a third, this episode not only ties up season 3, but of course you're going back to everything that happened with Donna and like the season 1, and you're taking care of Stall, but it's also putting an end to like
Jimmy as well.
Jimmy and Unser. It's his final episode as being the chief of Charmin. This is truly like an end of the Sons of Anarchy that we know it, we know it. This is like the ending of Arc 1.
It's Act 1, and I do think that. I think season 1 to 3 is Act 1, season 4 to 7 is Act 2.
Yeah.
I know people will be like, oh, but, you know, Jax doesn't become president. No, but you can clearly tell that season 4 is different. The whole sheriffs come in. It's just a different vibe.
It has a different vibe to it.
And you know what? I don't think you'll get a better TV episode in history that ends and sets up.
Although if someone says that 4 feels like a totally different act on its own, I could accept that.
Yeah.
I think you could say, I think you could easily split Sons into like 3 arcs and say 1 to 3, 4, and then 5 to 7.
Yeah. But like I said, you will not get a better episode in TV history, in my opinion, that does everything.
Just
Ends, but sets up. I hate TV shows that dedicate an episode just to set up the next season. This did everything. This episode could have very easily, right, have just been, like the second half of it could have just been, or like Jimmy and Stall's deaths could have been spread out across like the last 3 episodes or something. But instead, it's all in at the end, and it's done perfectly. And you will not get a better finale.
Yeah, because you see some series have to rely on big cliffhangers.
Yeah.
And this wasn't really a cliffhanger. This was everything that was hanging basically fell off the cliff.
Like, yeah, like if The Walking Dead, right, had any balls, when Negan kills Glenn and Abraham, those 2 deaths would have ended the season. And then going into season 7, it's like, what's the aftermath going to be here? But no, they had to do the whole kablunk of, who's head. Not remember the whole meme of each person got tapped on the head and they fell? They were too afraid to kill off people. They didn't know what they were doing.
I think they left it open.
Like, imagine this ends when that school bus pulls up. We don't know who dies. Did Piney die sipping on his apple juice? Did Chibs actually get killed by Jimmy? Did Stall drop Unser? Come on, man.
We'll never know, but we do know. Great episode. Definitely a great episode. Could be the best episode of Sons of all time.
It could be, guys, but we have characters up next. It's going to be a long one. If you want to check out the deaths, make sure you check it out.
Season 3, ranking all characters. Looking forward to it.
And make sure you check out all the fairy fids. We are moving in between season 3 and 4 because we're talking about the time skip. We're talking about the episodes. Looking forward to it. We'll put up a poll. Who do you guys think?
They're not webisodes?
No, they're called episodes for Sons.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
Also, mine's MC Season 5 ranking all characters coming soon as well.
Yep, cannot wait for it, guys. But until next time, peace.